Rightio, welcome to Uncle Brent's Shed. This episode I was supposed to go and pick up a car, but that didn't happen, so we picked up something else. No swearing either, boys. Yeah. What the? You want this cabin? Oh.
Take 20 years to go to school, 20 years to come back.
Oh, man. That's hot. What do I do with that? Wow. Girlfriend. Oh yeah, no. I don't know how they're running today, you reckon? There's petrol in there.
Yeah, you get it in front and I'll just push it, you steer it.
Brakes or something I've stuck on, eh? I reckon it's rolling pretty good, eh? Not bad.
Sit on it. That back wheel's still pumped up.
Does it work? Give it a shot. You never know.
Oh, that's it.
Does he have 100-year-old? Is this the bike I'm riding?
Right, as you can see, obviously we've picked up a Bantam BSA. I assume it's 175. Have no idea what year it'll be. Me and Dad picked this up probably 10 years ago. It looks like it was almost, I don't know, done as like a trials bike. It's pretty bare bones. It's only got on it what it needs. And I was just surprised about the size of that rear sprocket. So it should be a bit of a good hill climber, but I don't think it'll have a real good top speed. But I reckon we'll get this going in a few days. Also picked up a mower for the other project. Got some spare parts for the other project. We'll be able to harvest some parts off of this that I'm missing, especially things like that and that seat and this thing here. That's purely just simply for a laugh. So we'll probably have a go at getting this going as well. So the last week I've probably been mostly spending me time or wasting me time playing with this thing. I believe it's a Dexon Deltec rock hopper. We had one as kids, and I remember they used to have a chrome Deltec sticker on the tank. I can't remember if it had rock hopper written on it or not, but that was definitely what it was called. So the engine was seized in this one. It's just a Victor lawnmower motor. We pulled it all apart. There it is over there. The carby was all corroded out on it, but it actually cleaned up. My mate pulled that apart and give it a bath and whatnot, and the carby should be fine. Now, looking at that exhaust, I thought that might have been homemade, but it's actually chrome plated further down. So I'm assuming that's an original fit for this bike. The other problem I have with it is most of the clutch is missing. So essentially it just had the shaft on the engine sticking out and nothing else. Basically what you see there. Another thing we plan on doing, just to spice it up a bit, put an expansion pipe on it. That'll go on this side somewhere. Hopefully it'll fit. Well, obviously it's got to be chopped. Might have to move that fuel tap possibly to the other side. Now, I remember picking this bike up with the old man. I reckon we got it at swap meet. Didn't pay a lot for it. And I didn't actually realise till the other day that it's basically the same as that orange one there. So there is actually some parts on here that I can use, as in possibly that back wheel, definitely the seat, because I don't have a seat. And on the other side it has a little chain guard that's missing off of the orange one. Now that engine is completely different to the Victor. I don't even know what brand that is actually. I was also toying with the idea of trying to use this clutch arrangement, but still a bit unsure at the moment. Completely unsure of what year it is, because I just done some Googling and they made them from 1948 to 71, so it could be any year. And they made up to 500,000 of them, so there's plenty out there, plenty of spare parts. So hopefully the second half of this video we can get this thing running. I'm just basically going to pull the carby off, give it a quick clean out. Not even, oh yeah, I could probably pull the plug out, check for spark. It should have spark because it's got no electrical system on it whatsoever. So it's all done out of that magneto thing down there. So we'll pull the carby off, have a quick look at that, put some fuel in it, and hopefully it goes. I'm not sure how we check the oil in the gearbox. Probably won't worry about that just for this test start. But if we're gonna ride it, well, yeah, we need to check that gearbox level, but at this point, we won't worry about it. Oh. That's a plastic fuel line. Sounds like cast iron to me. Now the throttle's free, so it's not seized or anything. But we'll just make sure there's no crap inside. Looks like it's had a bit of water at some point. A little bit of crust in there. Got my best jumper on. Ooh. See if we can ruin it with these. Minty. disconnect that cast iron hose. We'll just twist that off like that. Perfect. Look at this pipe off without crushing everything. Might have to whittle it off with a knife. I'd normally, oh, that's hot. I'd normally heat that up with my blowtorch. Probably use a electric heat gun. Warm that pipe up and then pull it off. Dirty old oven tray. I don't know what this stuff is. That's alright. Now, here's some useless information that probably half of you would know and the other half wouldn't. See this button here? It's called a tickler. Well, that's what I told it was called anyway from a young age. Now, a lot of videos you see, 90% of the videos you see on YouTube, where they're starting an old motorbike or whatever it is, and they get this tickler, and they finger bash it like that. It doesn't actually do anything. It's not a pump. It simply holds down the float in the carby to intentionally flood the carby to supply a bit of extra fuel. So you just simply hold it down. I reckon it had a telltale hole, or maybe it just leaks out where that little button goes in. So you just hold it down simply till it starts leaking. That's all you do. I'll take the top off and show you how it works. A bit of crud down in the bottom there. So we'll clean that out directly. Now, that's essentially your needle for your needle and seat, and that's his seat up in there. So when the carby's full, when the float floats up, it blocks that fuel feed off here. So your tickler, I don't know why it's a bit floppy. Obviously it's, oh, that spring's not got the right pressure on it. Someone's obviously tweaked that. But essentially when it's complete on your motorbike, you push that down, it just lowers the float, which opens the needle. So yeah, you don't have to finger bash that. Might fix this first, I think, because that's not right. That spring has to be pulling this pin this way to hold that out on a bit of an angle. So it's just lost its tension, or someone's tweaked it. Got to look semi-professional, don't we? Now, it might have been a bit confusing where I was going with this video, because I started out with that, talking about that little rock hopper. But this BSA is obviously going to be easier to get going. And then the little rock hopper, I'm supposed to be going to the Fink. So I'm going to take that. And I don't know, I've never been before. I assume you can just ride around. Well, I've seen videos of people riding around in the camp area. We'll see. Hopefully I can do a video on that as well. That's how it's supposed to work. Wasn't quite like that. That hole is a bit flogged out though. Anyway. That's just the idle one there. Pull it out anyway and give it a clean. Oh, it's stripped. Dang, that's no good. not going to idle very well. Oh, God. Oh. That could have ended in tears. Alright, that bad boy's cleaned up. Blow through that easy. 15mm spanner. What's with all the metric stuff on all the old things I work on these days? That goes in there. That bottom bit of that float just sits in that hole in the bottom there. It doesn't actually go anywhere. It's just a guide, essentially. There was probably a gasket on there once. Not anymore. That's the wrong screws. Let's give those screws a quick birthday. They're a bit cheesy. Just a little bleed hole there. So that just shines straight through into the inside. Anyway, obviously doesn't. It's there for a reason. Oh yeah, that straight in. Another thing I normally do on motorbike carb is just to check to make sure the knee seat's working, is to have it in the upright position. Put your mouth on here and blow in it, and you should have air going through. And then whilst you're blowing air in it, you tip it upside down and it should stop. It should be a complete seal. Rightio, so I've got the carby bolter back on. Throttle's hooked up. Thought I'd check the spark because, you know, it's been sitting forever. You're gonna see that. Anyway, it's got plenty of spark, so if we add fuel, this thing should run. Now I'm just gonna hook up a dodgy pipe to that carby. Rightio, girls and boys, don't try this at home, but I don't have a little fuel tank, so I'm essentially gonna suck this out of the jerry can with my mouth. When the hose is full, I'm gonna plug it on there, hang it up in the air, and hopefully it's enough to, well, I could probably do it a couple of times. Fill that bowl, we'll test out this finger bashing machine. Is that gonna fit? Oh, thanks to Clark Rubber too. They should sponsor me. I think I bought 10 meters of this stuff for $18 or $15 or something. Sort of works. What's that not going? Oh, I can taste it already and it hasn't even gotten in my mouth. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but the fuel level stopped there. If I hold that tickler down, yeah, see it drop? Yep, and then it floods out of here. That's how that's supposed to work. Jam that in there. So, this should run. It's still leaking, don't know where from. started way easier than I thought. She sounds a little bit dry. I don't know if it's got some crook bearings in that crankcase, but I heard the rings rattling a bit too, but I think it'll be all right with a pretty rich oil fuel mixture. Might run it on probably, I don't know, 20 to 1, 25 to 1. Should be plenty of oil, I reckon. That'll keep it happy, I believe. Nice. All I've got to do now, I'll clean that tank out probably tomorrow. Get that fuel set up. That tap's probably going to leak, but I'm pretty sure you can pull those apart and re-O-ring them. It's free. So, yes. Right, I quickly plucked that fuel tap off. And it was just a matter of taking that little grub screw out the side there that runs in that slot. And there's not much to it. There's just a couple of O-rings. So I'm going to gently take those O-rings off and put some rubber grease around them and under them in the groove and whack it back together. I've got a 75% chance that it's not going to leak, but it is what it is. Oh, did you pull the tap on? Yeah. The old Tickletron. Now, we just topped off the gearbox, mixed a litre of fuel. I have no idea what the gears are or how many gears it has. I don't know whether it's 3 up or 4 up, or lads seem to have worked it out. Work good? What is it, all up, is that?
One down, all up.
One down, all up. Mix the fuel super rich too. It's like 20 to 1 or probably more, just to get a bit of extra oil into it. Right, so that test drive was pretty successful. Worked out it has 1 down, 2 up, 3-speed gearbox. I'm surprised that size of that sprocket, how the revs are reasonably low, so it sort of gets along pretty good for what it is. You'll probably hear in the video, it's got a rattle in it. It almost sounds like a ping, but I've got a funny feeling it's got a broken piston skirt. I might pull that exhaust off and see if I can see anything up the exhaust port. We also topped up the gearbox, worked out that plug there actually has a dipstick on it. Dipstick into the gearbox. So we put some auto trans oil in that. I'm actually going to take this off now. I was surprised how loose that was. I thought it would have been seized, but it's, yeah, not too bad. That's a really bizarre looking carbon. It actually looks like it's got dust in it. Can't see anything missing from this side. I don't know what that is on the bore on the other side, whether that's oil or scores. Well, if we get a torch and have a proper look. Got not a lot of compression, but it does run. I've ordered a chain for it too, so that'll be going on. I'm actually going to use this. I'll be using this around the paddock. I'll probably put a sock or something on top of that air filter. That air filter is like a non-serviceable little gauze arrangement. Be hard to see. So I've had that off and washed it. I don't know if you're supposed to dip him in oil or what, but I'll probably end up putting a sock over the top, an actual person, human sock, probably with a bit of CRC on it. That should keep the finer stuff out. Yeah, right guys, thanks for tuning in again. Probably wouldn't have learned nothing from this video. Obviously, gonna have some fun on that, get the kids on there. As possibly I'm gonna take it to Fink, just to cruise around the camp, but we'll see about that. Also, I'll be working on this rock hopper. Got some parts coming from that as well, and might be taking that to Fink. So it'll be either one or the other, or both. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for all the new subs too, eh? That's on the move again, starting to climb. But yeah, all right. Cheers. Look after your mates.